in terms of a pistol round. Like you said, Mike, 1-0 in Marsborne's favor, but getting info, they are not going to back down. They've got the forced up pistols and MP9s. They've got a stack as well onto this A site. Also, this getting info roster, technically the ex-Timberman slot right here, which is why you're seeing actually four technically of the ex-Timberman squad playing in the server right now. Carson joined them a little later on in that season, although I'm not sure he played an ECL match. He was playing with them throughout some NA Revival series, but he might not have been part of that ECL squad, which is why he doesn't count as one of the three core. Either way, we jump into the action here. 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock, Carson. Like waiting at ramp with that 5-7.
And look at the players of secret. Three players are pushing in secret here, John. This is getting real weird. Minus has spotted his presence. That's going to trigger them in towards the ramp room because they know no one's close to defend this lower site. Carson with a 5-7 maybe could catch the timing here. But 1 for 1 is really not what Marsborne were hoping out of that minus lurk. Little bomb plant should be on deck. Steal and chop, making this a little easier for the squad. And Marky, well, could consider the possibility of the save. There's another Chaos member, actually, from that team. Marky acquitted himself well in that roster, so Steele still has a familiar face on the other side.
Well, they got to be pretty happy with their performance.
You let that wall know, Josh.
Just got to show him who's boss sometimes, you know?
You know, he's just playing some PUBG, so he's leaning into the suppressing fire element here.
I mean, you know, PUBG keeps you on your toes. Maybe the argument could be made that it's a decent way to warm up for attentiveness.
To Bialy. I don't know if he'd agree.
Oh, goodness.
Gets the blood pumping, though, you know.
Yeah.
Josh has been competing for a long time, and you got to get that blood pumping somehow.
I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here, Mike. 2-0 for Marsborne, and getting info. Well, they're also grasping at straws in terms of their economy. They've got 4 pistols coming through here. Marky saved the Galil from that previous round, so there's some firepower available, but likely Marsborne will be able to take a third here as they're walking in towards a double stack over in that ramp room. That could be dangerous, but in the meantime, Minus has made his way all the way to secret, and he's going to continue to trek forward to see what's happening at that B site, which is not much of anything.
How does Marky ace this round? With 1 Galil. Playing for many. Spotted. Revealed. Steele daring him to the duel. Or just trying to distract him from the fact that the rest of his teammates have now made their way down secret. Everybody's down secret. There's no one in position to do anything about this. You would imagine they may not have much of an appetite for this one.
No, probably not. I would say just going for the save makes so much sense because then you don't have to upgrade pistols. You don't have to buy armor amongst 4 players. It just, yeah. Concede the bomb site, the round, and then you have a much stronger buy-up in the follow-up.
They may have been trying to hunt Steele as well. They knew he was there on that lobby lurk, but he has long since given them the slip. Wait. A little slow on that trigger. Looking for more. Might get overwhelmed here, and actually that's an AK upgrade now gone down. So that's extra value found. The steal on that lurk does get caught.
Whoa.
They got to be careful. They're just funneling rifles over to their opponents. The round is certainly not in doubt, but you've now given 3 rifles over. 2 in this round, 1 in the last. They're now getting info can build upon.
Yeah, that's the end of the free rifles for getting info.
Well,
Marsborne a little careless, but that's fantastic for the CTs, right? You got 2 AKs. You don't have to buy for Dia and Dare, excuse me, at all. Shane and Carson need to buy up, but that's not going to be that expensive, and you build up your economy quite well. Okay, Carson's just going to drop an off for his teammates, sacrificing all his money to get Dia with that big green in his hands, Mike.
Time to find out what the big idea is with that gun. Looks like a ramp initially. could be a secret drop. But that's not going to be the play in this round. Dia taking the deep angle in from ramp. But it's heavy pressure outside from Marsborne. They've got a player up on top of the silo. They're taking space out towards the red box. And now, on a slight delay, the smokes are coming in. It's the deeper smokes towards Mini. Minus, making his way past, has already beat the timing on that HE.
Yeah, Minus could slip right through here, honestly. No one's really watching for it. You have Dare, who's kind of swinging back and forth, but he's got to focus his attention towards Yard, especially if Marky goes down. But Marky, with a critical frag onto Minus, will make things a lot more comfortable for Dare.
They dropped a player on top of Mini. I think... Okay, nice kill from Steel. That's a really nice one back from Garage. Yeah. I think the idea that might have been to confuse Marky about the fact that a player was already deep in Garage, but it really just put him on high alert. Now let's see. Dia clearing in towards the lobby. This is so dangerous. Yeah. Chop's still here by the shutter, and if he's not careful, could go overlooked. Dia has actually slipped right back into the hut, so fully cleared this. Chop playing ultra passive on it will now start to activate as his teammates get in towards heaven. Everybody's here in the defense. It's just Carson down lower. And actually, as they retake space in towards the lobby, this is going to be a very interesting fight. If Chop can make some noise, then they'll know they're pinched. Then they'll know they're kind of stuck in a hard spot. Flashbangs, lethal. First one found. Effective execute here. And now Chop strikes. Perfect backstab on that op drop down. Marky knows he's in no man's land. Pinch between too many players. And it's just going to be left to Carson to save this gun.
Wow. That is so well executed. It easily could go either way in that type of situation where you're going literally up against almost the entire defense of getting info, but Steel gets the opener, and then afterwards Chop, you were talking about him for a while, and for good reason. I mean, he was in a prime position to punish, and Dia walks into what is the trap that Chop was waiting to spring, and that'll do it for Marsborne in this one. 4-0. Oh, maybe Carson gets a frag here. Yeah, and an upgrade potentially? No. Instant trade. Steel's right there to deny him anything else, and that's a great job by Marsborne overall. So we go into this round getting info. I think they'll still have enough money. Yeah, they'll definitely have enough money to buy it because of those 2 free rifles they had in the previous round handed over to them by Marsborne. So it won't be too shabby at all. And they get another crack at this. But on CT side, being down 0-4 on Nuke is not a good start at all. Match going to be paused here. I think this is technical in nature. And yep.
That DC might tell you the story. Yeah, I mean, it's like you're hunting for silver linings. They've done a good job of managing the economy, and it's still early days. But we are starting to hit the point on Nuke where you'd like to see some rounds, right? A lot of the economy management has been when rounds are effectively lost, just managing to scrape out a few guns here or there, or punish some of the hunt, punish some of the exits. But at the end of the day, you do need to stack rounds.
Yes. Need to start getting some numbers on the board there. And speaking of numbers on the board, Dare, who's usually a pretty good contributor in these matches for getting info, is blanked so far. Shane as well. I mean, those two guys have actually been very effective in all of the roles I've seen them, all of the teams I've seen them fill in for as of late. Shane in particular, he's been on a couple of different squads. I think he might have even filled in for Marsborne at some point. But either way, he's been very solid, so we'll see if he can activate, as it looks like Minus is back in the server, and Marsborne are ready to go once more.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice opener here. That off again, taking the deep line from ramp, and this time Chop suffers for it. We got deep setup here. Carson in the shadow of the Schmallow. Player on red box as well. Dare suffered a nade for it. If they don't expect the player close up, they could be in big danger. Actually, a third player potentially coming into this peak as Marky could support it. Oh, there's the spot. Dare caught. Provided they don't overlook Carson, this is now a very troubling setup. Hasn't been cleared. Oh, there's the spam. Carson got away with that. Minus didn't realize where those bullets were coming from. Shouts to the silencer. It does have its uses. And so they will get out of this with a man advantage.
Wow. I mean, it was a good setup, honestly, for getting info to start off the round. 3 players aggressively postured and outside. And, I mean, like you said, it was a bit risky once they lose that first, but Carson, luckily, doesn't get spotted and is able to connect. That said, MOTM's made his way all the way to Secret for free. I'm not even sure they've seen him get here. Oh, Marky could be dead if he pops out. A little bit of damage taken, down to 69 HP. Now they know where the rest of the players are getting info. Is wondering.
Ball will be able to cross.
Oh,
There's no nades to pop this, not close at hand at least. But Marky collecting Wolfie, that takes out that lurk element that we saw be so effective in previous rounds. Oh my goodness, Steel is running and gunning this thing. Sprinting, going for speed. He's going the distance. And, well, the time is getting away from him. Steel ends that. Sorry, Shane ends that rather. And getting info are on the board.
I don't know. I had it for a moment. I'm like, okay, Steel might actually get this. As he finds Carson, but can't get the second right in front of him. Well, there you go. Getting info finally on the board, and a bit of a weird finish to that round, but they will absolutely take it. So a good recovery after losing the previous one in their first crack at it. They do get in the second one, and they've got an AK up in Dare's hands. Dia was integral in the opening, getting that first frag, and of course allowing getting info to posture themselves aggressively in outside yard. Dia again from the big garage. Could get minus. Tempting fate. Waits for the smokes to come out and will pop out at a good time unless Dia, is he going to pop that smoke?
Trying to. There's cover available. Trying the faster hit towards the upper button. They can't find the actual contact they're looking for. Awkward engagements, and it is just Steel trying to bulldoze his way back into this. His teammates fallen by the wayside. Steel wondering, what the heck, man? I'm supposed to be the veteran here. Rocking on in. Where are my young fraggers at? Gets the op. Gets it out the fence. All right, let's make this expensive. But in getting back to the AK, well, oh, nearly finds the adjustment.
All right.
A little too much to ask.
Steel feels like the confidence just flowing, like he's not afraid of anything right now in this matchup. Getting info are going to get their second. Marsborne are forced onto an eco as a result. I'd be surprised to see anything purchased up. This is probably just Glocks that is going to come through. And it looks like, yep, nothing at all. Just the Glocks indeed. A bomb plant would be fantastic for Marsborne here. Anything more than that would be, well, miraculous, I would say, as the bomb's going to get dropped by MOTM. For his teammates, he's going to jump on top of Marshmallow and have a look to see who might be in the outside yard. No one, actually. Getting Info's playing this pretty passively.
These guys, I just want to point it out. Steel has one fewer kill than the rest of his team.
Yep.
35 years young right there. Come on, fellas. You got to step it up. The old man's out fragging you. Well, that's not going to be the start for Chop Wolfie or MOTM. They've all been chewed up. And it is once again left to Steel with a P250 to see if he can add on to his total. A cheeky kill? No, not to be. Clean as a whistle. One spot of damage from Marky, and otherwise, that is a very nice round to build the bank for getting info.
No question. Yeah, 3 in a row now. I mean, you can look at that start from Marsborne saying 4 rounds in a row T-side is excellent on Nuke, but if getting info can recover here, win out, make it 8-4, that would be a very strong CT side. Even getting 7 would be good. Anything less than that might be problematic. We'll have to see what Marsborne are able to achieve here, as they do have the rifles back in their hands. It will be Steel settling for the MAC-10 just to make sure he has that U-tilt, as he often will do. And the nade connects onto MOTM, getting him down to 8 HP. Carson, in the meantime, is waiting over at ramp. He's just going to wait for contact. As soon as he gets to that incendiary, is going to be tossed to the ground. And there it is. There's the contact. There's the incendiary. I don't even know if the T's are going to care about it. They might just charge right through. There is Steel doing exactly that, but he is dropped by Carson. As Carson now resets for another engagement.
A number of corners he's jumping with this MAC-10. Trying to go full run and gun. And speaking of, not so much the run, but the corner peek there from Minus. Now smoking towards Mini, and there's something cooking here. But the smoking of Mini, ironically, works decently for his opponents. The Wolfie doesn't really care about it, and now as the kills stack up, Marsborne might just make this happen. Marky, though, was overlooked, and that's the problem. Minus can't link up with his teammates because of that Mini smoke. He's on the wrong side of it. So he's actually played into their hands, played into Marky's hands specifically. And a 1v2 clutch now required. 45 seconds. Seems like Minus is considering the possibility of wrapping Heaven. At least putting the doubt in their mind. Carson has to consider it. Which means there is an isolated fight for the moment. But Carson snapping around, sets up Marky for the peak. A beautiful 4K out for Marky. Recovers what could have been a lost round.
Yeah, that's when you need that individual effort, right? From the getting info side. 2v4. Marky pops out of Squeaky, gets 2, and the third after that is just the icing on the cake because he had no business even getting 2, honestly. But then he drops a third, and there's no response at all coming through from Marsborne. That one's going to sting because it felt like a 5th was going to get registered on the board. Instead, getting info continue their round win streak, and they break the economy of Marsborne. They're just going to try and get in there. What? I guess Steel was trying to get through that vent. That was the plan there, but the smoke was popped with the nade, and there was really no chance at all for him at that point. He was completely exposed, and okay, there's one. I mean, it's ramp control and an upgrade. We'll see what they can do with it.
Look for the lower bomb plant. Players already in towards control. That's going to be Marky on the scene. Reveals his presence, and that's a hell of a deep shot. Now we've got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Problem is they've actually all gone in towards double, which might make a plant a little difficult, but it's a whole lot easier if you just kill them all. Oh, that bomb is recovered. How do you get out of this? How do you get out of this? A 1v1. Dion the dualies, and the dualies are enough.
All right, well, Dia taking care of business there on the 3K. He's the individual that steps up for getting info in that round. A round that shouldn't have been as scary as it was, but credit to Marsborne hitting some really nice shots. Wolfie in particular, like the first running Tech 9, you know, it happens sometimes, and that's an upgrade available for Marsborne. But then Wolfie, a beautiful one, he threw into observation on the stairs. I think he could only see the head, and he hits that. So it gives Marsborne that opportunity at a bomb plant and makes the numbers even, but at the end of it, getting info just a little too good on those trades, and Dia capitalizes to get his 10th frag on the board to get that round registered. Now it will be the first lead for getting info. Chop knows there's someone on the other side of the smoke. Finally fires off a few shots, but it's not going to connect with anything but air, as Minus has made his way right outside of Secret. He's just going to hang out here. Dia, in the meantime, does get the opening frag again for his squad. That is Chop gone. Yeah.
Very aggressive. Going deep in towards Hot, looking towards Lobby. And with that player now down Secret as well, they've got a lot of control. They've got a lot of confidence in it. Minus. That's a nice opener. Eliminate some of that confidence in the outside presence with Minus here in this garage. He's a threat that they're going to have to consider, and you can see how Carson's adjusted to it. There's a Heaven player, but, well, that's a quick cleanup. And now Derek can turn his focus towards Inner. His teammates would have loved if Minus could have stayed alive just a second longer, but still, they're finding success on these entries towards site. With the Heaven player up the Vens. Steel deals with that ably. They pull off of the plant, but now it is just Dare. And they know where he is, or at least where he was. And with the bomb now planted, this should be hopeless. Nades out. And Wolfie to end it. Marsborne knotted up at 5.
Yeah, Wolfie's frag, well, at the end, obviously important, but the first one that he gets into Hut opens up all the space for Marsborne to get that plant, and afterwards, like, beautifully isolated over towards the Heaven player. The nade goes in. There's no choice for Dare but to peek, and, well, his demise is pretty much written in stone at that point. Timeout going to be called by Marsborne to talk things over. They did finally get themselves back on the board after a 5-round win streak for getting info. So they want to talk things over and see how they need to approach this next round. Very tightly contested, though, over the last 3. Right back to that AWP. So we'll see if he gets aggressive once more, either towards the outside or into Squeaky, which has given him some success. Looks like the plan is just to do a big match.
Dare.
Oh, no.
Completely caught. Double take. Didn't realize what he'd seen. Fully misses it. Now we got Spam coming out. Big damage onto Marky, and things are looking very tough indeed. Carson rallying to respond to it. Marky down the fence as well, but Marky overwhelmed. It has to be Carson. They're going to put a stop. This and Steel's having none of it. Continues to tear. We should all be remembering PUBG. He will at least thin the herd, but with this bomb lower and the numbers getting punched in, this has to be a save. They have to keep these weapons up for the final round. So it is going to be 6 for Marsborne. They guarantee themselves, at the very least, a tied-up half.
Yeah, that's still not great for getting info, right? On the CT side, you're expecting to walk out of Nuke with a lead going to your T side, but hey, look, we've seen it before. Maybe we'll see it again where the T sides are just more effective on Nuke, which has been a trend I've noticed as of late, in particular on some of the matches I've seen. So, yeah, again, we never know, but statistically, Marsborne should have the advantage switching sides, especially if they get a 7th after this. We'll see if they can get the guns out of the hands of Dia and Shane. Those would be big pieces, but Dia is having none of it. Steel immediately gone, and no one else is nearby to punish, so they indeed will walk out of this one with an AWP and an AK. The thing is, the buy-ups won't be that great outside of that. Dia and Shane can drop some MP9s. I don't know what else could be afforded. Maybe a FAMAS, actually, which we've seen a little bit more thanks to that buff it's gotten recently, but doesn't look like we'll get that either. Oh, we do. Right at the last moment. There's Carson. I get the FAMAS drop for. Here we go. Last round of the half.
Last round indeed. And you're already seeing the effects of the cast strap getting info. We got smokes, but outside of that, the utility belts are going to be looking a little sparse here. Do have a couple kits. That might be the priority. Chop makes some noise. Thinking about getting active out that squeaky door, but a timely smoke will rebuff him for the moment. Still, his audio cues given over, and Minus once again finding space in towards Secret. Marky position down here. Could he be thinking about the re-clear? Thinking about it. Oh, looks like we got a collision course coming on here. Marky tucked in the corner. Minus on the angle, and it is Minus to connect first.
Oh, wow.
Headshot on, dink back the other way, but the weaponry wasn't there for Marky. And now pressure in towards ramp. We've seen them do this. When you get that initial kill off of Minus, now you want to bring the pressure and link up lower. Minus, meanwhile, is working back up top, trying to secure them a second option, while wandering into the mini player. That's not going to be the antidote. There, can he do more? No, not so much. Shane follows it up. Even Stevens for the moment. And look at this wrap. Look at this wrap from Trophy. Carson's got so aggressive on it. If they don't move quick, they're going to be flanked. Big kill on Shane. Still, that flank's coming out the hut. No one's watching it. No one's watching it. Carson going patient. Wants to. Can't have it. Steal. Diving. Ducking. Getting a new magazine in the gun. Knows where this last player is. But it's a race for the plant. It's got to be done, and Dia will pull him off of it. Wolf, he didn't believe him, didn't trust him, and he will pay for trying to get that bomb down. 6-all. We'll be right back. back into this second half. A little bit chaotic in some of those rounds in the first. But the end result is that we've got a 6-all scoreline coming right down to the wire in that final round. And now it seems like we might be starting off quick. It's a ramp rush. Oh boy, it's a ramp rush. And there's 3 players here ready to receive them. Marsborne knows what's coming their way, but can they stop it is the question. So far, evenly good. Steel, dip dive, dodging, ducking, and fighting back in. What the hell is this, Steel?
I don't know what's going on. Steel's 17-9. I think we've gone back in time here, but
that's my player to watch right there.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We were talking before the match started. I was like, really? We're going to go with Steel? But you know what? It was the right call. Mike's clairvoyant. Sorry, Mike. He's clairvoyant and can see into the future. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. I mean, look, I don't even know how he was alive, like I was saying. Like, the fact that he's able to survive that long, and oh my goodness, we are kicking things off with a bang in this one, too. Dia with a beautiful shot from the Deagle.
Well, you know, Jake, they do like to rip those Deagle shots.
I knew you were going to do that.
Come on, Chop. What you got for us? Wolfie connects with the scout first off. Chop waiting in mini, but oh my goodness, these Deagles. Don't give them too many shots off those hand cannons. Dia will rip it. Going for pace with Steel right now. And speaking of Steel, Shane has done him in. This is a disaster. This is falling apart. You just got to brawl back in. What's going on here? Oh, boy. Caught out by Credit.
This
is insanity right now. Leaving yourself massively exposed. Drop the pod player. Worked their way all the way towards ramp. All right. Everyone from Marsborne just decided to fight outside. And they paid the price. That is a catastrophe. Getting info, cannot believe their luck. The deco, barely a deco. 2 Deagles. It was Glocks. And it's just falling their way.
I just don't understand it at all, how they are losing that round so decisively even. The pistols were just peppering away at them, most of them Glocks, but of course Dia doing a great job with the Deagle, connecting on 2 heads and opening up that space, but there's absolutely no reason for Marsborne to give them that many fights, and well, maybe they can return the favor in this round. We'll have to wait and see. Steel has proven to be quite a good survivor at ramp in that pistol round. Maybe he can channel that energy into this one. Dia, opening frag again, minus very exposed. I mean, look, yeah, he's dead to rights. No chance at all. And it's a 5v3 quickly for getting into it.
It's nice going back around with TM, but, well, the scout's not going to be a huge difference maker, one would expect. Dia.
Nope.
Playing a little whack-a-mole outside. It does seem like in the battle of Dia and Steel, right now, Dia's got the edge.
Yeah. Last couple of times I've seen Dia on Nuke, he's looked pretty solid. I know he's had his struggles on this map in the past, but I mean, he's just exercised all his demons. Although, MOTM.
Oh, get knifed.
Nope.
Oh, he turned around. He's wise to it. Might still get found. There's the 5-7, but stalling out long enough for teammates to get there and keep MOTM from walking out with that rifle.
Yeah. So, round going to go to getting info. Didn't really get that spicy aside from the MOTM flank that comes through, but that's all she wrote for the round, as we are going to see. Let me get back into things here. There we go. If Marsborne are going to come into this with anything, and well, given their economy, not going to invest at all. Even MOTM is going to save every last penny. Only default pistols and a Zeus. We can't forget the Zeus that Steel has just purchased, so that could be in the vent. I would imagine it will be put in the vent so he can try to catch someone there. Maybe not, though.
Stack up.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Do they spam him? What is that nade toss?
I don't know.
He knows. There knows. Who nades that?
Yeah.
Oh, he's familiar with their setup. Come on, Zeus. Come on, Zeus. Kill. Oh, Steel gets the Zeus kill. And you know what? Whatever happens to this round, Marsborne have the moral victory. Steel has the victory. Oh, I hear the typing. I hear the typing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you know he's going to let them know. Especially because he got Marky.
Oh.
Hold on. Hold on. Surely we don't have 2 of these. surely not. Oh no, they're fighting. They're fighting. Oh, it's getting weird. It's down to a 2v2. They can't get their hands on guns, but can they get the kills? They can get the kills. Oh my god, it's come down to a clutch. This was a Zeus and USPs. A Zeus was the primary investment in the round. And now a 1v1 to win it. Minus. Oh. Had the HE. Could have softened this up, but a fadeaway shot will keep this one from getting out of hand. What are we watching, John?
I don't know. It's very haphazard play, let's say, happening towards the outside yard. I don't understand it. Why they keep fighting so aggressively, and it feels like they just can't get themselves away from gunfights. It's very strange in Antigua situations. That one would have been even worse if Marsborne gets it, because it's just the pistols. Like I said, USPs and a Zeus, but previously getting info at least had some pistol upgrades. The Deagle was doing damage, but my goodness. These are some very scary rounds for both sides of the server. Steel just spams through the smoke, connects onto Carson. Find. Okay.
There we go. All right, ban him again. Gets back in the server, is immediately shooting through walls. Smokes are walls, right? Steel, let's see if we can get more out of this. Yes, absolutely. They're not expecting him to have tucked into the corner. And so 2 for the price of 1 goes Steel, continuing his monstrous run of impact.
Steel at 20 frags was not on my bingo card.
Should have been. He's not calling, you know? All that brain power off the hook. If they plan exposed to single, they will regret it. But they won't. Still intervention, the retake. Okay, all right. Checking his angles. Saying, I bet there's a player through this door. And indeed there was. Dia just flying around. Oh my goodness. As quickly as that retake was setting up, it is done. Talk about the best defense being a good offense. Getting info have just shown why.
And yeah, showing why sometimes, like I said, the T sides can really, for whatever reason, have more momentum than the CT sides on Nuke. Usually when it happens, it's just both sides having a good time. Either way, 10-7.
I don't know if they're having a great time right now in the Marsborne camp.
Well, no, definitely not. I'm saying that on their T side they did, but not on their CT side.
Money's in tatters right now. Absolute tatters. We saw them get it done with USPs nearly before. This might be too much to ask, though, doing it again. Come on, Zeus, buy another... Or, sorry, Steel, buy another Zeus. Zeus, buy another Steel.
No, he's got a scout, Mike. That's what he's going to do.
Scooting.
He's going to get 3 scout headshots.
Let's see.
5-7 is going to finish it off.
Has had an absolutely blessed game so far. Deep angle in towards the ramp. It's Marky who wants to come duel him.
Let's see it.
I honestly feel like Steel's calling his spots just to go fight Marky.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, they spotted each other. No molly for cover this time.
Are we going to get it here? What's going on? They're teasing us. No, the X-Ray's
The X-Ray's teasing us, really. Yeah. That's what's going on. Fortunately, right now, they're just holding on to lobby control, but the reposition from Steel means they're probably not going to get much. This is an A-hit. Upper bust coming through, and on the vents, a distraction from Minus, and now the trap is sprung. Everybody was waiting here. Oh, it's a catastrophe. Steel last alive. Right down to 2. V1, the scout tags, the 5-7 bags, and it is indeed going to be another Eco 1. Minimal investment. Pistols and a scout.
Look, those 5-7s are scary, and to Marsborne's credit, they did gamble correctly by putting them all on that A site. Getting info walked right into the spider's web, and the fangs sank in. Beautifully done from Marsborne. We've seen a lot of crazy rounds here on Nuke with just those pistols, and I don't know if it's the last time, because we're probably going to get another one here, whether it be from Marsborne or getting info. Getting info, still enough money to get a full-on buy here. Won't have the AWP in Dia's hands, but he hasn't really needed it because he's up to 27. Maybe going to get the 30 bomb here, which is not easy to do in MR12. Minus spamming that smoke, expecting someone to be there, and he does connect on a few shots. Wolfie with the op finds Dare, so that's one piece off the board. Marky down to 15 as well, probably get to rights too. Yeah, 5v3. There's the response finally. Dia and Shane get a couple back to even out the numbers, and Wolfie is hunting for one more to give his team another edge, but he's going to have to give up on that hunt for now as he backs off into ramp.
MOTM finds that fight. Now they're all here, and they know things are going to get weird. That's a heck of a lineup. Squeezing it through the pipes. Out between. Now support coming on in. Here comes the base. Here comes the fight. They're trying to get the info. They know they have MOTM cornered, so why not take the fight that you know? Well, because there's support en route. And MOTM's doing a great job of just digging in, staying alive. Dancing on the ladder. Finally, they find it, but now they've only got 30 seconds to actually try and get onto a bomb site. They have that control. Chancing outside is such a risk, though. And Steel is not going to be expected right here. Flying through the air, strafing right into him. Shane's just got to wrap in towards Mini, and that's where Wolfie waits.
Wow. I mean, that's good patience from Marsborne. We've seen a lack of patience from both these squads, honestly, the past few rounds. But even though MOTM is trapped in the situation, he buys a bunch of time off the clock for his team. Reinforcements coming in, which almost might not have been the best idea, because then you're bringing the fight to getting info with very little time left on the clock. Luckily for Marsborne, they realize that. Steel stays back, Wolfie backs off, and then they just wait for getting info to walk into their waiting arms. So 10-9 for getting info. They will have a mixed force buy coming through. They're not going to go for the eco. It does feature 3 pistols, 2 deagles, the Tech 9, and a couple of rifles. Let's see what they can do with those. Wolfie waiting with the op, fires off a shot, but it doesn't connect on anything. So now he's going to back off here. Nothing is a sure thing in this one, Mike, so I don't count getting info out of this round at all.
Crosshair they go, and Wolfie will pluck one from the server, looking for more. The tweezers are out here, and he is yoinking them right on out. Eventually gets run down at lockers. But again, this wrap has come outside. Steel this time pushing it. Steel's got rocket jets on the back of his roller skates. Can't slow down even for a moment, and MOTM is going to keep that philosophy going. That's the bomb. Well, that's the bomb. Might as well take what you got. Bomb now dropped very much out in the open. And a general idea of where Dare was playing from, based on the kills that he's gotten. Love Chop to set up the crossfire with his teammate, but Chop wary that the Heaven Wrap could be going in. Now they get the audio cues, and with 20 seconds now, there's no chance to reroute. Dare's got to try this. Smoking one. This breaks the crossfire. So spam's still a possibility, and he does not want this. He wants the op.
I think that smoke was just to try and convince them that he's going to try and go for fights. And it works, right? They back off, they play it more passively, and it gives them the opportunity to retreat back into CT. So saves the AWP into this next round, which is going to be an important piece. There's no way they would have been able to afford it with the loss bonus. So he'll drop that over for Shane. I thought it would go to Dia, given Dia's performance here. And there we go. Eventually it gets there. I think it was just that Shane was standing in front of Dia, and he just ferries that gun towards the opera. I don't know if we'll see that much of an investment outside of it. We will not. It's just going to be the pistols around the big green. But with Dia playing the way he is, this could get spicy. Very heavy emphasis by getting info towards the yard this time. Minus waiting here by his lonesome, so he could get overrun if the util is placed well, and it is. So we'll see what Minus decides to do here. Probably going to have to take the initiative, or he could just back off, go to his teammates, but he's not going to be able to relay any info at all to them.
Minus Wolfie. Combining for a lot of kills. Out of bullets. Maybe needed the A4 in that situation. Either way, now it does give the chance over for getting info to actually take this space outside. Let's see how far they can run. Steel still down here at the locker. He's got a player up top, but they can isolate this fight with Steel pretty effectively. And there's that swing. That's exactly what happens. Mark's putting one right between the eyes, and now they've got the access towards lower.
Oh, no.
Shop's already down. He's anticipated the rotation, can bring a teammate alongside, and he's confident, at least for the moment, that nobody's gotten through. Secret. Opening the door. Does that pull them off the plant? No, not at all. But that certainly will. Bomb did go down, but oh my goodness. Wolfie just flying into the engagement, and Dare is once again going to save this AWP.
Yeah, he's going to try, and yeah, he's going to be successful as well. No one's really chasing him down, so good job, honestly, by getting info to get that bomb planted in a round that, remember, only featured the AWP, and the rest were just the pistols. So, well done. Again, getting info, at least going to set themselves up for a proper full buy. Timeout called by Marsborne. They've got the lead again. They don't want to let this slip away. Steel is carrying his team on his shoulders with 22 frags.
Just as we all suspected.
Exactly. We knew it all along. That Steel would, the PUBG warm-up, that's the secret, right? That's the secret sauce to all of this.
Hey, start the routines, guys. Start the routines. Refrag, add a game mode. It's just PUBG.
Steel's already 5 steps ahead.
This is the big brain we needed in North America. You see what they took from us, John? You see what they took from us?
Yeah.
Dude, one little...
I mean...
well, we don't have to get into it.
Yeah, let's not. Technical pause. Uh-oh. What's happening here?
Hopefully whatever it is gets resolved rather quickly. As this map could be resolved rather quickly indeed. A keyboard issue. Okay. So what do we think happened? Unplugged, spilled a drink on it, smashed the keyboard, ripped a keycap off. What other things happen to keyboards sometimes?
Yeah, given how quickly it was resolved, I'm going to guess it's a disconnected keyboard, potentially from smashing.
They won the round, though.
Yeah.
It was a Marsborne keyboard issue.
Can still get frustrated and win a round, right?
Does happen. Oh.
Oh, if he gets out of there alive, that's crazy.
Josh Nissan, ladies and gentlemen. He's an absolute madman. Oh, my goodness. Talk about balls to the wall play right here. I can't believe he actually got rewarded for that.
Yeah.
Damage on Dia as well is substantial. That is just absurd. A drop down noise outside. They'll know this is here, but Minus is positioned to punish it. Oh boy, but can't do so. Oh, maybe could get caught by Chop, but I think they're already past him. Now they have to deal with Marky. Look at how much focus this has brought. Wolfie's just watching for this play from Marky, and it doesn't matter.
What?
Marky swinging into the angle, ripping heads, bodies dropping left, right, and center. And this one's looking like a save from Marsborne. Chop's going to give it a try. MOTM is very disjointed. Chop is in an engagement lower. Chop is fighting. Chop is trying to brawl here. But MOTM on this creeping lurk. Now we'll find contact. And Carson... What? MOTM doesn't pull the trigger and Carson checks him? What is happening in this round? Chop, can he get out of there? Carson's already on the hunt. That was his idea. Didn't expect to meet MOTM. But let's see if Chop can survive.
No. He cannot. What a weird finish to that round. As a little disjointed both players were. Chop taking a fight. MOTM trying to save. MOTM dies as he's trying to, I guess, re-engage because Chop was. Either way, look, the money's not great for the Marsborne side. Probably just going to be a half buy at most. Could justify potentially. No, I was going to say a hero rifle, but no. The lost one is only 1900. They have to save the money. So pistol upgrades at most, and you're going to see only 2 players, maybe actually 1, that Steel opt for it with the Deagle, the Smoke, and the HE. Getting info, wasting no time going for control at the outside yard right now. They are all the way into secret, only 15 seconds in. Can Wolfie slip past?
No, there's
Can
a
Wolfie
player
get
behind
through?
him. He hears Carson now. He hears Carson. It's all about the timing on this one.
There
That's going to be a gun gain. We've seen these rounds get real weird before. Players in lower. Minus is here. There's 3 players ready to defend, including that Deagle. Oh, that Deagle's tagged up. That Deagle's not getting it, but you're not looking. You're not clearing the USP. And now Marky drops. He found 2. Molotov should secure him.
Look at the damage.
What is happening again?
Oh, no.
Oh, they can't light up the final shots. It does. That's map point. Map point off of pistols. Unarmored pistols! Am I losing my damn mind here, John? How many ecos? Is that the 3rd? 4th?
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd, maybe even 4th. Yeah, that
It's
was
the 3rd that I think Marsborne have won, and I think they lost one. I think that's the
they did
4th
lose
eco
one. Yes.
in this map.
What on earth was that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, unarmored pistols. Steel only upgraded to the Deagle. Didn't have armor, and he's not even the one doing the damage. It's the USPs taking care of business. That is unreasonable from Marsborne, who now are on map point somehow. I don't know how we got here.
I just, with the particular flavor of logic we've had in this map, I feel like we need overtime.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I feel like it's calling. The stage is set. But let's see. Trying for this mini drop. Minus will be watching it. Minus will be collecting on the first, but the trade is instantaneous. Rapping towards heaven. Good positioning on. Eventually, Wolfie's going to have to consider this, and indeed they are. They're pushing in towards the hut to try and compensate for it. It's chopped down lower. Ooh, that's an audio cue. I don't know if anyone was positioned to hear it, but it will make them a bit more hesitant, and actually Steel's come back looking. Awkward engagement here. Dia goes back. Just around the corner now. Steel hears them running. Dia's setting up util. Steel can get this kill. Steel can get this kill, and indeed will. So one flash on, but now they know there's a pinch here. Now they know there's still an op on site. Things get very chaotic indeed. Nate sailing over, but Carson, oh boy, just flying past the op crosshair. And that's going to be overtime. It has to be. We are going for extra rounds.
Ay. What is that? That is just weird. Marsborne, it feels like the players on both sides, whether it's CT or T side, like their feet are on fire and they must move around. Otherwise, they will burn to a crisp. I don't know what is happening, but they're getting really aggressive when they don't necessarily have to. There, it's Marsborne over-peaking, over-committing to fights and getting info, just capitalizing on that. So, we are indeed in overtime. And we won't get pistol rounds here. The ecos are gone, probably. Unless the teams decide to go for double op or triple op setups, which at this point, it might not even surprise me. Steel going for that similar play, maybe not as aggressive when he got that damage on Dia and the frag through the smoke. He's backed off, and good time for him too as well. Yeah, I think so. It's not something you can get away with again. He was thinking about it.
That once. Come on. Marky caught outside. Crazy fight now going on. Dare catching that kill on the mini player and Chop as well. Now they're in big trouble. Wolfie. Not much done here, and MOTM cleared off from the hut. Wolfie did actually get that kill outside. That gives them at least a chance to think about this retake. But it's going to require some Steel theatrics to make this one a possibility. And for the moment, it seems like getting info are poised to take this lead. Time's an issue. Wolfie's got the kit. Steel's picked one up. But they're both coming midi, and at this point, I don't think there's clock for this. Giving it a look. Util over from Steel. Just playing for exits. He's just going for the ninja. He's going for the smoke stick. All right, I respect it. You know what? If they hadn't been on site, he would have had him.
Yeah. Yep. If they weren't playing defense, he would have.
Oh, the beautiful thing, if you're wondering about that play, right? The idea is that maybe they're off the site saving or hunting or something along those lines. But an OT, there's no reason to.
Exactly.
There's no more reason to save.
Look,
there's technically a reason to hunt.
That's just for the stream, Mike.
That was optimistic. He's not streaming anymore. He's not streaming.
He's not? Oh,
no.
It's for our stream then.
The stream is dead. That's for the content.
Yeah.
Content builder right now is Steel. He's got that double op, speaking of which. Rolling back the years. No one's had a whole lot of love opping today. Oh, boy. Shoulder shot. Now Wolfie to support. That's a collapse.
Yeah, that's a collapse.
Wolfies. Both ops in the same angle, and they have shut down this ramp take.
Here we go. The seesaw ride continues. Getting info, unable to get past that ramp position. Wolfie connects on the op shot, gets the collat, and getting info are shut down. Now we go into the last round of the first half of overtime. And you got a couple of AKs picked up from Marsborne. That'll bolster their defense immensely. And of course, Wolfie, if he starts connecting on his shots now, it'll be as good a time as any to help his team potentially take that W here on you. We can't forget that getting info, like we mentioned in the pregame, they're 8-0. They're undefeated right now in Challenger League, and they're trying to keep it that way. Marsborne wants to hand them that first L, but getting info just aren't going away.
Tenacious, to say the least. Oh, they're coming Steel's way. Gonna get this Molotov down. Do they come through it? No. No. The risk was too great to bear. Nades to chase. Look at that damage. Steel is just sponging them up. And he's still brawling. Not dropping.
What?
And they never expected that. They never expected that. Your ramp anchor falls 9 out of 10 times there. And now Shane down to 5 HP, backed into a corner. Dare trying to link up to help his teammate out, but Shane knows he's on an island, knows he could be surrounded. There's no way forward. There's a steel wall. So he'll try and back up, but the bomb is well within the grips of one Josh Nissan. Well, they're killing all of his teammates, though, so maybe this will be possible, but maybe they're just setting him up for a 4K as Dare and Shane go lower and lower on the health. They know they don't have the bomb. Wolfie has now made sure that it is just this one man, and a one tap out from Steel will send us to swapping sides.
Yeah, that was just too much information from Marsborne, right? Confirmed damage on. They're probably getting the call saying, guys, they got to be at or below 10 health. So they pull out the pistols, go for that fight, and win it pretty easily. Still doesn't even have to go up for his pull out his pistol, right? Because he's holding the angle, waiting for the player to walk out, and the AK is more than enough to take care of business there. 14-13, Marsborne retaking the lead. They were the ones in regulation with that eco to get the map points, so they're trying to get themselves another 2 here. It would be if they're able to win this round. Dia on the other side, for CT side anyway, was so very good. I mean, he was good on both sides of the map, but on CT side he was pretty effective with that AWP. He's looking for his 30th. Thought he would get in regulation, but he slowed up in those last couple of rounds. Carson opener onto Steel, who just tries to run out and take a fight. It's not effective. Now he's giving his team a man disadvantage to worry about.
Got that real estate, though. I got a lot of real estate.
Yeah, look at our MTMs. Jeez.
Could be in a lot of trouble. Minus is coming looking for this, though, and Dia's been waiting. Ah, Shadow gives him away. They may not realize there's a player in heaven, but it won't matter if he's the only player. Okay, making some noise. Bombs down outside, so that didn't really make a difference. We are all knotted up at 14.
All of a sudden, no one can win 2 rounds in a row. Well, that's not true, but they can't get momentum going at the very least. As we go back and forth here. Who will get that 15th round first and have another crack at closing out this map? Can it be Marsborne? With Steel stepping in, and more than stepping in, leading the charge with 28 frags. Taking it seriously, not even streaming, or is it getting info? We're undefeated so far this season. Will they stay that way after this map? Dia and Carson go for the double op. A little risky money-wise, but they've got the money, in fact, to go for this. I think it was picked up, actually. Yeah.
Secondary op. An interesting look for sure. Dia collecting minus early on. That's going to make life a lot easier. But now Carson's going to get tested, and oh, he is getting run down. Might not be the gun he wants in this situation, and indeed, there will be no escape. Player's gotten back cooling, though. Back sight, Markey will execute. They didn't expect him to be in that position, but the trade is instant. Shame back in the angle. 2 players stuck on the site. 1 high, 1 low. Wolfie in full control and Steel. You know, shots through the single door. Now, Wolfie's got to retake this site solo dolo. A hand spotted.
I think he's got
delivered.
It. Oh.
And, ow, what is this? Dare catching a kill. It's all good.
Whew. I thought Wolfie had it. I thought he had it for a second there after he gets that first one, but he can't turn his crosshair quickly enough to convert the second. And there's the first map point for getting info. Now they're going to have their crack at closing this series out. And again, the double op is invested into. No reason not to. They've got tons of money. Let's see if it works out. I mean, in the previous round, it was just Dia connecting with frags with the big green. Carson, as he saw, took 1 shot and fell back and couldn't really recover after that. On the other side, it's just going to be the AKs for Marsborne. They want that mobility. Nades sailing out there, trying to get that yard control. No one's really there for getting info, so they do have it from Marsborne should they actually go in that direction. Dia waiting from second vent. With the AWP, Chop walking into his crosshair, and Chop is dead to rights. Nice response from Steel, though, so he's got a 4v4. Can Steel do more? He can! He gets a second mic through the smoke!
When they need him most, the hero steps up again. Somehow, again and again and again, he's delivering. This one's weird, though. These 2 players are totally isolated. They don't know where Carson is. He's the ramp player, and he's opping. They might not know what he's trying to do here. MOTM has walked in. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Carson's looking the right way at the right time. Oh, and so that shot dead the rights, but now Steel wrapping him. Oh, don't break the windows. Would have had the backstab. Would have been able to send us to double overtime. 20 seconds. He's going to get the chance to bomb plant. He's going to get it. Molly down the ladder. The wrap already on.
Ooh, nice.
Save his util. Planting as open as possible. Carson's got a long way to go to get back into this. Now that Molly airbursts, so that won't stall him out at all, actually.
That was the plan the whole time, Mike.
I don't think it was, to be honest with you. Steel's going for the wrap. I think that stall would have actually been pretty critical.
Yes, would have.
He hears the jump. He hears the jump. He actually knows where Carson is. But if Carson just goes for the stick, this could be a problem. Steel better get there soon. And here's that stick. Here's that pop. Oh, Carson out in the open, but he still gets the kill. Here's the drop of the nade and knew what was happening. Oh, no. It's all over. This madcap map of Nuke comes to a close, and it is getting info to continue their unblemished record. Despite Steel's heroics, they hang on, John.
Look, Mike, they'll plan the whole time is throw the Molotov, make it air burst so that he thinks he has more time to maneuver with, and then Steel works his way to heaven and has a chance to backstab because he's got that nade to pop the smoke. It's all in Steel's mind. He's already worked out everything, but except for the frag at the end. So, wow, what a crazy match, and it ends as crazily as it started in overtime. with, of course, Getting Info staying undefeated on the season, Mike. Now 9-0. Marsborne, they had their opportunities, but man, they just couldn't close the door.
They could not. They had many opportunities.
so
many
many.
more than they should have, to be quite frank,
Yes,
with those ecos.
yes.
But we'll be headed into map number 2 in just a flash. Stick with us, folks.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
Welcome back to the ESL Challenger League. It was a very hard-fought victory coming through for Getting Info in the first, continuing their undefeated streak. Now 9-0 on the season of ESL Challenger League. But with how close it got, you'd imagine there's still a lot for Marsborne to do to stay fighting on this second map, John. That was some madcap Counter-Strike. And now we head to Dust 2.
Yes, which can give you more madcap Counter-Strike, honestly. It's just the way things went in that first one. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some more craziness here on map number 2. Steel impressing everyone with his play. It felt like he just, decided that he was going to swing every single angle, that he wasn't going to stay stagnant at all, which in Counter-Strike 2 isn't necessarily a bad idea because it can yield a lot of success. And, well, it did. I mean, he was finishing with, what was it, 31, 32 frags? Definitely over 30. On the other side, though, Dio was matching him blow for blow, and in the end got the better of him with that victory for his squad. And I don't know, it's just it was a crazy map of play. All the ecos that came through as well that kept Marsborne in it. The amount that they won was crazy in itself when it felt like everything was shifting and Getting Info's favor. Just the pistols were doing it, and without body armor at one point. Nuts stuff, and well, maybe Dust 2 will have more of it.
Maybe it will indeed. Maybe it will indeed. I can't wait to hop in. I just want to know. I just want to know what we're going to get here because, I mean, between Steel swinging everything possible and Carson swinging everything possible back in turn, I just...
Well, that's normal.
That is his standard. We did not get a moment to breathe in that first map, it felt like. And I need another hit, John. I need to get back into this insanity. Let's get some pistols.
Let's get some pistols indeed. Talking about stats for a little bit since we have a moment, Mike. Over the last 3 months, Marsborne have played Dust 2 9 times. They've only won 4 of those times, and the biggest defeat was up against M80 5-13. Kind of the expected result in that one, but they did defeat Alter Iron 13-4. Again, the expected things happening on this map for the most part for Marsborne. And on the other side, Getting Info haven't played it that much, only twice, and up against opponents that they haven't really had much trouble with. 2-0 on the map and 13-4 win against my most recently. So let's see if they can replicate that success. But I feel like, as mentioned, because of the way these teams are matched up, it's going to be another crazy one.
You're Marsborne as well. It's worth noting that they're starting to get a danger out of contention for playoff.
Yeah.
You need to pick up some dubs. It's a long season. There's still plenty of time. But you don't want to be hovering around that 10-11 mark. You want to be firmly, comfortably there. And, of course, it's good to know that seeding matters very much so. If you're in the top 6 seeds, you go to the upper bracket. If you're in 7-10, well, you're starting off with 1 life missing already. Engagement out towards long, and they have double back. Double back. As a normal human would say. Still got the smoke as well. But the smoke's actually out towards long, so a smoke towards doors would be wonderful here, but instead it's going to be used as a fake. Still might work. Still might be effective. Ours are just full on standing up in the back there.
It does work.
Whoa. Dig up. Steel's back the other way, but shoot a bomb plant. Catch the planter as he crosses. No, Steel will be able to punch in the numbers. Now it's deep control from MOTM. They'll be confident. At least for the moment, no one's coming from tunnels, but, well, here they go. Not making a secret of this. MOTM, what can you get? Nothing! Oh my goodness, Shane just deletes, and now this is a clutch required of Steel 1v4. Too many to find, and that's going to be a rapid defuse coming through.
Well, I mean, Marsborne getting the plant was effective, but man, oh man, those shots were crazy. Think of a Shane just flying through tunnels and getting an insta-headshot. And after that, I mean, the reinforcements had arrived, and Marsborne just get run right over. So we have the bomb plant, as mentioned. Force buy is very much a possibility. Almost always happens in these types of situations. But I don't see Marsborne committing. Interesting. Okay, so they're just going to go for the scout on Steel and everyone else on the Glocks. Maybe because of how successful they've been with some of these ecos. And look at that, Marky's already taking damage down to 58.
Carson just closing the window on this round. An MP9 from lower, lethal. And it falls to Steel. Oh, gonna get the first. Don't say he can't do it. Got enough magic happening on Nuke that Diaz says, you know what, I'm gonna keep my head down, actually. And now he's changed his mind, changed his tune. Gonna hunt this up. Steel completely repositioning to get these long-range engagements in the middle. What are you cooking here, Steel? What are you cooking? Gets the tag and dropped from Dia.
Yeah, really no reason not to go for the engagement in that situation, because it's just a scout and you can probably buy up a Galil or an AK in the next round anyway. And nothing really happens. Just the tag, and then, well, he gets bagged by the opponent. Good trade. Well, I shouldn't say trade, but good swing off of the initial contact from Cat. And Getting Info are able to get their second on the board. Here come the rifles. This is what Marsborne were saving for. They wanted to get their full buy in round number 3 instead of round number 4. And Wolfie's got the AWP already. Steel settling for the Galil to make sure he has that util in his hands. And he's already going to toss some of that towards long A and try to attract the attention there. In fact, 3 players committed early on for getting info towards long, but they don't buy that Marsborne are going to go there. They do send the reinforcements back the other direction, and there's now 2 players around mid. This is interesting, though, because I guess that smoke wasn't enough to keep 2 players mid long, one pin, one flat. He goes down in turn minus. That is a fantastic opener for Marsborne, and it gives them a little bit of space to work with.
A little bit of fortune, perhaps. You got to be careful what you spam, even if you got a silencer on your gun. There's only so many angles they can come from. Dare puts it up on site. There's a lot of options open to Marsborne right now. If I had to guess, this is going to end A. But honestly, the tea leaves are a little difficult to read. Minus has gotten the space middle. They did throw a cross smoke, but it was to put the doubt in their minds that there's no re-smoke. So they have waited too long. This is going to fade. They cannot double that back up. Shane under pressure here, out towards long. Actually, Steel gives it up and redoubles back with his teammates. There are still going to be 2 guns. Shane gonna punish them for not finishing him off when they had the chance. Burning alive. Dare eventually goes down to that Molotov, trying to commit to get one more. Now, this position in mid is strong for Steel, but Chop just caught wandering. The trade is swift, and Steel makes sure Marky can't do anything about it.
Here we go again. Marsborne on the board immediately. As soon as the rifles come out, they're able to get the job done. And I like the way they played that, right? You get the opener. They don't, try to completely rush out towards mid and capitalize off of that opening frag. They take a step back and say, okay, let's set things up. Let's think things through. They had Steel towards long A, able to push out as they set themselves up on Cat, and really went brilliantly overall. Yes, there was maybe one. I'm not even sure there was a blemish there. Yeah, they got everything taken care of. The ramp player did get one frag. Unfortunately for him, he goes down immediately, and after that, Carson is just able to make a little bit of noise before he himself is gone as well. So, well done from Marsborne. Time's going to tick away on this tactical timeout, called by Getting Info. So we go into it. Getting Info risking it. 4 spy coming through. 2 M4s, the Scout, and 2 5.7s. It is enough. Especially in this this one, Mike.
We've seen it be. We certainly have. Especially if the Scout can tag him up early. It's a classic recipe. There's that first tag. And I mean, Shane's even here with a rifle, so flashback into the fray. That's what they want to go for. Here's the clear. Shane, headshot on the first. Ooh, nice on the second as well. That is a nice cleanup by the blue box. Sweeps them right into that dumpster. Space afforded to them in mid. Could be a smoke for this split, but Steel plays ahead of it and suffers for it. Flashbangs are good. Oh, flashbangs are so very good. MOTM desperately raging against the world, but Bomb in the clutches of his foes. So many to deal with. And just some shots from Shane to put him on his toes. Flank on. Shot to the back of the head, and that one is pretty clean. Getting it, though.
Yeah, that's why they call for the horse buy, because they got the confidence that they can take care of business. And in fact, it wasn't even really the pistols they need to activate. You talk about it at the end for Markey, right? That's just a finishing blow. It's Shane's M4 that they walk into time and time again. And in fact, they also walked into the A1S over at mid. So, I mean, just good positioning from getting info, and well played overall with that scout at the beginning, getting that tag, and then afterwards the finishing blow dealt by Shane. Marsborne, guessed it. They're going to go for the force as well to get those guns right back out. Chop waiting for a push to come through that probably won't. Markey throws a pretty deep smoke there into the tunnels. So he wants to hold this position a little bit longer. Eventually, likely, going to back off of this, but he does have Carson behind him. But there you go. A little more passive in his approach now as that smoke fades away.
Got this cat control. They're holding on to tunnels. At least for now. This is many rounds. Getting info are playing pretty default. It's mostly what we've seen from them. Haven't seen a ton of aggression, which is unorthodox for this particular team. And this looks like it wants to be a split in towards B. Smoke's thrown. Minus going to try and provide a little bit of distraction behind this curtain of smokes, but in towards the B site, they funnel. First kill found, looking for that trade. Timing's a little disjointed here, but the kills do still come through. Carson got his pound of flesh. This bomb still needs to cross. Smoke up on the doors, and here they go. Numbers will be punched in, so that's already a small victory. And they know Minus is here. They know there's presence here. They know they've got someone to contend with, and it's all about the timing. When Minus peeks out, oh my goodness. That looked like it could have been on. But instead now, a lot of time bled off the clock from Minus's position. No kits, good point. Unless one's down here in the site. Wolfie, can he stall them? No. Not at all. And there's a kit right there.
Okay.
2 of them.
Well then, both B players had kits. That works out fantastically. They didn't even have to rush that, but they did anyway.
But they did anyway.
That's a ripper of a shot from Dia at the end. Headshot overkill with the AWP, and it was a rapid fire one. As getting info, shut down the Marsborne force spy, but they did get the bomb plant, so they could force up again. I doubt they will. That would be foolish to continue going for that force up, and it looks like, well,
get weird with it.
You know, eventually you gotta fall back on that, Mike.
Yeah, this is the moment. I mean, Steel will still go down to 1300, but we know Steel's very content to play on a Mac 10. Now, you do have to ask yourself, Marsborne, the player standing in to make sure that they can actually play top of the board. What happens if Steel isn't dropping near 30? And, well, we might be seeing it, but not in this round because Steel has just pulled off 2 with a scout. Still healthy. It takes one right between the eyes. Some damage, some impact from Steel. But around nonetheless for getting info. And yeah, I mean, we might be seeing it here. Somebody else has to step up. You can't be expecting Steel to just go out and kill everybody.
Yeah, I mean, look, Grizz isn't playing, and he's usually the one that is at the top of the board for his squad. He's been their fragger, so I guess Steel has to be. I don't know how to put it, but you're right. Wolfie is usually pretty solid. MOTM as well. I mean, those 2 names are players that can come out and be those key fraggers, and we haven't really seen it at all. It's been Steel for the most part, and even there, I'm surprised Steel is able to get a couple of scout frags. Here we go, though. Wolfie and Chop get 2 for themselves. That's the 5v3. Dia wants to get very aggressive with this AWP into the upper tunnels. He's got support as well. Information gain, maybe, but Minus.
Oh, Marky, the
bring
timing.
That bomb back up. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is what I was talking about, that the aggression had actually been limited over from getting info, but this time now. Yo, he comes back to check. Might have saved him. At least the bomb's not the one that drops further in towards the lower tunnels. But they know they're under pressure now. And the nades are sailing out, burning here. Minus is to get it down in time. He does indeed. Last second smoke coming through, and now it is just Dia, whose position can be totally neutered, neutralized, left alone. They can smoke him off, cross that bomb, and worry about it next time.
Yeah, and Dia's got a ton of cash, so it makes sense for him to try and save. I know those two statements feel like they don't go together, but what I'm talking about is he can draw for his teammates and keep the AWP in his hands. Like, that's so important to keep getting Info's economy healthy. And I think he realizes that, even though Dia is definitely a player who likes to go for those hunts, and he might still, honestly. He's jumping up on the box here at mid, which is an extremely exposed. This is such an exposed position, though. Yeah, he's got to get out of here.
He's playing exits. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Picks up an extra molly smoke.
That's fine.
Look at this. Value bag.
He's good now. All right.
The thing is, the rounds have been so few and far between that he's making an educated assumption that they won't hunt. And he's right. He's correct. Taking a gun away from them would actually be hugely valuable. Marsborne, as much as the T side is resilient, they do actually need to make some money. And now, knowing a buy is coming back the other way, knowing that Dia is going to open up this pocketbook and M4s are going to come flooding out of it, well, you better win the back-to-back, Marsborne. Otherwise, life is going to get very difficult in this first half.
Yeah, no question. I mean, getting Info, I've already isolated them once. They'll try to do it again here. Timeout going to be called for them to talk things over and say, okay, how do we deploy this? Do we go for some more aggression? We've been pretty bog standard in our setup so far. Being pretty patient, playing those defaults. Shall we mix things up? And they mix things up in terms of the buy. They buy up a second op off of the saved one from Dia. Again, we do not see double op setups that often at all anymore in MR12, so this is certainly a risk from getting Info in terms of their economy, but they want to try it. I can't blame them. This is the map to do it on, that's for sure.
That it is. That it is. And it looks like Dare's got the long spawn, which is why he's bringing it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Going straight into those long doors. Scoped up. Looking for a brawl. No one's going to be there to receive him early. Which we can see with our magic omniscient view. Actually, utility to limit his vision. Shane making no secret of this presence on Catwalk, and a nade's going to come back the other way. Nimbly dodged and actually steal. Wants to poke out a long late. Dare gives him what for?
Yeah, now Dare's going to back off. That's
I mean, you got what you wanted, right?
Yeah,
you got the
yeah,
5v4. If they were following it up, suddenly you're safe back on site. This is ideal for an AWP. Dia. Flash around. Nimbly dodged. Utterly ineffective. And the nade to follow it up. Shop's now down to half. This is just a shutdown of a round. Marsborne had nothing. That is a gift. Dia getting a little overeager, perhaps. This is now isolated Marky. Round could be back on.
Yeah, you have no reason to go and re-aggress into mid with a 5v3 on CT side. Like, you literally just wait for Marsborne to come to you. Maybe he wanted to try and get across to help his player over at the B site, but even then, you don't really have to go for a peek, and you can jump across and see if someone's there. But anyway, we'll see. Marky is repositioning himself towards the barrels here at the B site. Could engage and take care of everyone here. There's a messy spray, and he only gets one.
They've got a smoke for the cross. They have a smoke for the cross, but there's still a fast flank going on. They got to go quick. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. You need to plant this bomb. You need to plant this bomb. You got to get that smoke down, Wolfie. Oh, crossing without the smoke. This is risky. Now it comes in late. There's a gap in it. But the Tunnels player has left them uncontested, at least for the moment. Carson seems wary that Wolfie's going to come back his way. Looking at the Tunnels. Wolfie posted on this angle. On scopes at just the wrong moment, and now they've made their way in towards the site. MOTM still collects on the first. Dare scope is heard. Carson late in this approach, but it all falls to Wolfie, and Dare will get it done. No Carson required.
Wow. You know, even with a couple of mistakes, I would say, in that round for getting info, they still win it, which, to their credit, Marsborne can't capitalize on it. The first one is Dia going for that peek into mid. I'm surprised that he decides to do that. And the second one, I don't know if I would call it a mistake necessarily, but I just expect a little more aggression from Carson, right? Put more pressure onto Marsborne, so that post-plant they're not as comfortable as they were to even get that first frag and make a conversation of it. I think Carson probably could have gotten that frag a lot sooner and supported Dare. Instead, it's Dare with the AWP taking care of anything, and Carson never really activates. So, you know, it's okay. It all works out for getting info. And Marsborne are again isolated out of a round victory. The good news for Marsborne is that full loss bonus in the bomb plant helps them get a full buy-up once more for AKs and the op, and they're already spending a ton of util to get this mid control.
Oh, the smoke betrays Wolfie. It's not perfect, and so a gap spotted in it gives Dare a gift. Now up on the dumpster, Carson collects another, and we have another 5v3 established. Getting info. Continue this rock-solid defense. That smoke's a little deep. There's a window to see. It's not pixel perfect here. MOTM opts not to fight ahead of it. Is that the... Looks like that was the second lurk smoke thrown. They're going to put the closer one up and go out behind that curtain. We saw Minus do that as an individual in a prior round. Here that smoke goes up. The later ones get a fade. So they'll re-smoke it. Counter molly comes in. So this is the stall out. Looks like there's a foot gap on the right side of that smoke, actually. Oh, but Shop doesn't care. Shop does not care. Bomb's going to go down. Man advantage. A deal holding on the long control is critical, so they're going to have to defend from Cat.
And they also know where it's planted, right? Because of that.
They do indeed. Swing back in. That's madness, but it's good scouting info for Carson. Can his teammates pay it off? Double up on the retake in very unfortunate angles for these fights. Marky has to do work with this one rifle. They're down. That's the problem with the AWP. It's just tough to take these fights. You got a player painted into Gandalf. Kill comes through, but time is becoming the issue. Minus on the swing. Cannot get it done. Dia defends ably, and Marky's able to clip those wires. 7 rounds.
Wow,
getting
that
info.
is so much confidence from Marky coming through, and his teammates like, nope, I'm sticking this bomb right on in the open. Dia, you take care of business after Marky clears out Gandalf. So they know that there's probably only one place, not probably, definitely only one place that the other player is going to be, and it's Cat. And just great job by Dia to suppress the player and eventually frag him so that Marky can get that defusal. Getting info. Another little mini round win streak. It could get better for them. Marsborne with the bomb plants coming through, they get to buy up once more. It's a little bit lighter this time with a Galil and a Scout in the mix. Still an argument to be made that they can come through and get this, but the double ops are sustained. Carson's going to get a bit of spam going. Again, Marsborne are just locked into this A site. They want to try to get back there, even though they've been denied quite a few times already.
Smoke's going to slow them down. Oh, actually, Steel decides to try and edge it, fight ahead of it. But Shane is wise to see those tricks. Nice nade. Nice spam. 1 HP for Shane. But he's still buying time for a teammate to get the shots, and Dia continues to do so. Shane, the headshot, and Dia ends it. Talk about the ideal way to play when you're 1 HP and a wisp from death.
I mean, that just goes to show you the value of staying alive, right, on a bomb site. Even if you're really low in health and you can't have much impact, just being a player that the enemy team needs to focus on gives the long player a chance to activate, and Dia does not waste that opportunity. 3 frags come through, and even on the tail end, Shane manages to pitch in as well with a frag. He could not have played that better given the situation that he was in. And getting info up to 8 now. We're going to try and make it 9, and Marsborne, I mean, now they finally have to go for more of a half buy, even though it's not too shabby. 2 Galils and a Scout in the mix. It's not going to be easy for them to get back into this half nor the match.
I mean, they're having a brutal time getting into any of these rounds, period.
Yeah.
Wrong standard, purely that.
Jeez, man.
Endanger Wolfie. Oh, well, okay. That was a chance. They're little eager on the scope up, but he's letting them know.
Okay. All right there.
He's letting them know exactly how he feels.
Yeah. No, no room left for interpretation on the emotions there. Quite clearly painted on the server.
Steele's
by
just typing
Dare.
furiously. Good luck, buddy, when I'm on an analyst desk.
Oh my god. If he's not typing it, he's thinking it.
Triple up! Triple up!
It's a triple op coming through. Oh man. That saying double op's rare in MR12. Triple op, you don't see it unless a team is trying to go for a bit of disrespect, which may very well be the case here. And of course, I don't even know if it's disrespect. There's so much cash available to them. They're saying, okay, let's try going maybe triple peeking mid and setting 3 ops there and trying to get an opening frag immediately, dropping the M4s on the ground, and then going to the rifles. It's a viable strat given the opportunity they have to spend some cash here, Mike. And you do see the M4s as mentioned. So we'll see.
Dare's coming up middle.
Dare's pushing mid.
Dare's pushing mid with his AWP. Full disrespect CS out on display. Carson catches one out towards long. Popping that smoke. And with his vision up middle, now they got a pretty good idea that it might in fact just be a long play. They've even got an op watching in towards lower as well on Dia. Carson commits. Oh, he commits. They're trying to fly in to help him out. The cavalry is here.
There's no way.
Still
There's
collects
no
these flashbangs from his teammates are just too good. Steele raging against the world. An ace would be required just to give Marsborne their third. And he's about to step into the shooting gallery. There's just so many ops. There's so many ops. It's too many ops. We'll be back. We are back. And as entertaining as this series has been, it could be coming to a close right here and right now. Getting info, looking to put this one to bed, looking to walk away with their unblemished season, still immaculate, pristine, clean. Meanwhile, Marsborne desperately trying to get something going here. Some sort of mojo moving on Dust 2 because it has been a nightmare. And well, they've chosen wrong, John.
They have. Well, maybe not. I mean, they're readjusting here, and they're onto the site, so they are able to respond immediately to this push. The question is it in time? And the answer so far is no. They've got all three players rotated around towards A, and Shane's just picking them apart. So is Marky now. It is only Chop left standing in a 3v1, and this is the opposite of the start that Marsborne were hoping for. Chop's got the flank onto one, maybe the second shot as well. This might not be over yet, Mike.
Clarkson is just a rolling stone of a player, man.
Yeah.
Well, Deal will make sure that's not an issue, but yeah, we're in a 3v1. I'm going to walk through the smoke. He just can't, he can't stay still. He can't stay still.
With the way the last round of that half ended, I don't know if I can necessarily blame him. He had like 3 players to deal with, trapped at car with the AWP, which is his own fault because he commits to that fight. But still, he survives, gets 2 frags before finally he is traded out. But it doesn't matter at that point because, he just gets the job done. Actually, I don't even remember if he died. It was crazy. It was literally bonkers that Carson was able to have that much impact.
Bonkers, I say. Bonkers. Nice nade early. But you need a whole lot more of those. He's quite low. Get some more of those. Oh, they're looking for more. Wolfie's got the connection here. Now things are getting interesting. But they've condensed the angles. Wolfie is gone. Steel follows. And their ability to deny this bomb plant is quickly slipping by the bay.
That's
out towards
really
long. Not where you want an MP9. Really not where you want an MP9. But minus might make it a little more viable. No, he will not. MOTM's just going to have to save this. They're saving an MP9 to try and avoid map point.
Yeah, it's really good awareness from Marky, though. Getting that frag on towards the CT side area and then swinging immediately to long, saying, okay, someone's got to be trying to put the pressure on from this angle. Absolutely were. It was MOTM. Even though he falls there, he keeps MOTM at bay long enough for Minus to expose himself, then get traded, so MOTM can have absolutely no more impact on the round. Just trying to save here, and oh no. Is he not going to be able to save either? He's not! Things go from bad to worse for Marsborne, 12-2. Getting info have 10 rounds to close this one out, and the money is gone from Marsborne.
Yeah, I have one silver lining for MOTM, which is that I don't think saving 1 MP9 in armor was going to be the tipping point for this round. But it certainly would have been nicer than not saving 1 MP9.
Exactly.
Look at this. Sticks and stones, bits and bobs of util, a scout, a deagle, newly buffed Famas. That's nice. MP9s. And here we go. It's all bet on the long fight, and it's coming up empty. The house always wins, and in this moment, getting info, well, they're ready to bring down the house. Chop through the smoke. Madcap plays. It's got to be done, and it is over. Dust 2 was a bloodbath from start to finish, and so Getting Info will continue their undefeated season, now 10-0 on the season of ESL Challenger League.
Now, I mean, we're seeing why Getting Info are 10-0, right? That was a dominant map of Dust 2 up against an opponent that did give them a ton of trouble over on Uke, where it was back and forth. It felt like neither team could really gain any momentum, but this time, Getting Info get the job done. They take care of business. Really, no rounds that they looked out of at all, even in the 2 that Marsborne were able to get. And it's a shame for Marsborne, right? You talked about it earlier. I think they're a team that can have success in Challenger League, but their chance this season is starting to slip away. And let's not forget that next season is going to be completely different. There's no spots that are going to be retained. So if you can't make your mark here in this season and get some ranking points, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you certainly are. You certainly are. Got to secure your spot here in North America. And so for Marsborne, they're going to be looking to end this season slide. I do want to check in, though, with our player to watch of the map. Steel, it's not looking so hot after both maps. But that first one was real nice.
Yeah, you can tell from the ADR, still above 100, right? Even though the way this map went. 104 ADR. The first map was phenomenal. Even the second map, there were flashes where like, okay, Steel's getting stuff done. The thing is, he's always going for those entries. He's trying to open up space for the team, and eventually became a little one note, and it was kind of waited for on the other side, and there wasn't really much impact he could have, especially here on Dust 2. But still, you know, I think Steel certainly did his job on Uke to try and get them a win there, but I mean, things ran out, and I can't blame him at all. Like, the rest of the team has to come through. We talked about Wolfie, we talked about MOTM. The other players that are regulars on the squad must be contributing on a more, I would say, well, regular basis.
You certainly do. Certainly do. Got outmatched, got outclassed here on Dust 2. But that is going to be our broadcast wrapping up. Thank you for tuning in to another broadcast of the ESL Challenger League. We'll see you next time.